I, a 22-year-old man, have a roommate, let's call him Timmy, who moved in about 6 months ago. I honestly never considered Timmy may be trans, not that I would care if he was, but that's not the issue. He is a short guy, and probably under 165 centimeters, has a lot of facial hair, muscles, and looks a lot like a short Henry Cavill IMO. No one I know has ever brought up this idea before. I've had my friends and family at our apartment before. This is really the part that gets to me because my mom is extremely against any gay people, and if she sensed anything was up, she would have caused problems right away. Timmy and I get along. We're polite, but not really friends. He's quiet, but super polite, always pays rent on time, helps with chores, and even shares his cooking with me. I appreciate having him around, especially because my last 3 roommates were each their own horror story. The issue came up when my girlfriend, let's call her Mina, 28, came over one day. Timmy was shirtless. To clarify, I forgot to tell Timmy that she was coming over, and she noticed the scars on his chest. After that, she was quiet and short with me her entire stay there. When she got home, she blew up my phone, asking why I had a female living with me. I was confused and asked what she was on about. She says that she knows that his scars are from top surgery, and that he is short, so he has to be trans and a born female. I tried to explain that even if Timmy is trans or a born female, that there is no way I'd be attracted to him, because to any person who looked at him, you would see a freaking guy. Plus, he's respectful and doesn't cause drama like my last roommates, which she knows about. Just to be clear, I honestly still have no idea if Timmy is even trans. I googled it, and those scars could be from some other surgery, like heart surgery or gynecomastia. And I really don't have an argument for him being short, but there are a lot of short men. At first, Mina wanted me to just ask Timmy if he was trans, which why the hell would I do that? Or give her his last name so she can run a background check? I said no to both. Then, she said this was a violation of trust, and that if I didn't either find out if Timmy is trans and kick him out, or just kick him out, that she would have to reevaluate things, basically threatening to break up. I said I don't do ultimatums, and that we're done. Since then, she's been messaging me every single day for over 2 weeks, even after I blocked her on everything because she wouldn't leave me alone, pissed that I wouldn't do this small thing for her. She ranges from, "Are you freaking him? Let's just talk? Why can't you at least give me closure and ask him?" to the most recent, her telling our mutual friend about the situation. Our friend wants nothing apart from this holy crap show. I didn't feel bad at first, but after talking about it online, I've had some people say I should have just asked my roommate if he was indeed trans just to keep the peace, or that I shouldn't have essentially picked my roommate who for. I've only had for about 6 months over my girlfriend of 5 years. I wonder if I am being unreasonable. I legitimately do not see how any straight dude could find Timmy attractive, personally. But maybe I should have done something just to keep the peace. Some relevant comments. Commenter: you don't owe that transphobic anything. You're right. It doesn't matter if he's trans or if it's from some other medical surgery. She is not owed any knowledge about his life, genitals, or medical history just because she doesn't think he deserves to exist or thinks he's delusional or whatever other BS transphobes are sprouting. You did the right thing, blocking and dumping her. Poster: I asked her at one point if one of her friends or roommates asked if she had a vagina, would she be uncomfortable, and she pulled the "don't turn this around on me," and then pulled up a damn Google screenshot of common tactics used in gaslighting misdirection. The abuser changes the subject or redirects the conversation to confuse the victim. Minimization: the abuser downplays the victim's feelings, making them feel like their concerns are insignificant or like they're being overly sensitive, which is insane to me. Commenter: why the hell would you be an asshole for leaving someone who both A, is a virulent transphobe, and B, thinks if you're ever in the presence of any other human with a vagina, you're inevitably going to making love that person? Even if we remove the transphobia, she's neurotic about assuming you're a cheater. That alone is grounds for dumping for your own sanity. Poster: I do feel right in what I did, for the most part. But there is some doubt in me. I admittedly feel ashamed of the doubt, but I still feel it. She was the first girl I ever dated, and I was with her for so long. Meanwhile, I've only been with my roommate for half a year. It really freaks you to lose someone you've been with for so long. Commenter: did you start dating your girlfriend when you were 17 and she was 22? And aside from that slightly disturbing fact, you've been together 5 years and appear to not be moving forward, living together, etc. Where exactly was this relationship going? I really don't like talking about it, but yeah, you're right. I was 17 when we got together, because that's what the age of consent in my state was. We were talking before that, but no relationship stuff happened until I turned 17. She was around 22 years old. Commenter: would you be interested in a 17-year-old right now? Even outside of this whole situation, it may be nice to explore other relationships, as your ex seems problematic in a variety of ways, including but not limited to the bigotry, lack of trust, and weaponization of terms like gaslighting that are shown in this poster. No, I wouldn't. I really don't like thinking of her like that, because she was a big part of my life. But thinking back, I don't think I could be interested in a 17-year-old. I don't even think I could date an 18-year-old. I get it's all legal, but it just feels weird. 18 years old is still probably in high school with parents, and I'm in college and have bills to pay. Commenter: your girlfriend is clearly a bigot. Think about whether that's the kind of partner you want. Original poster: I was on the fence for a bit if this was a transphobia issue, but I did talk to a Redditor in private, and after rereading some texts and thinking it over, I do think that she was being transphobic. If Timmy is trans, then calling him a girl is a dick move. If Timmy isn't trans and just had some surgery for his heart or cancer or something, then it's still a heck move. I feel bad because I didn't know it was transphobia. I really didn't. I am completely new to this stuff. Commenter: just because you spent a long time making a mistake, that doesn't mean you have to hold on to it. Original poster replies: holy, this is really the comment that hit me. Whenever we had problems, I kept saying, well, I've been with her this long, or I've known her this long. It really feels like a punch in the gut. I've been a dumbass. Commenter: frankly, in a roommate situation, paying the rent on time and picking up after themselves means more than any kind of sexual orientation. Original poster: that's what I'm saying. He is the perfect roommate in my opinion. He is chill, doesn't bring drama, cleans up after himself, doesn't play loud music or videos at 2 a.m., and he even shares stuff he cooks with me. Considering out of my last roommates, 2 of them got arrested, this is a godsend. Commenter: is this the first time your ex-girlfriend has become inappropriately obsessed with someone else's life that is none of her business? Has she ever expressed any sort of prejudice towards people of other demographics? Original poster replies: she always had a boundary that I couldn't be friends with women or men who were attracted to men. I think she has it in her head that if Timmy is a trans dude, then that means he is suddenly a she, which makes no sense to me. Has she ever showed prejudice? I'm not too sure. She refuses to discuss any political or social topics like that to anyone, even her own mom. She prides herself in being anti-political and doesn't watch news or anything involving that. If a YouTuber she likes brings up politics, she would block and never watch that YouTuber again. I do think it is bordering on extreme, because if the YouTuber is gay, trans, or mentions anything about social stuff, she treats that as being political. There is a movie commentary YouTuber, who Timmy actually introduced me to, called Mr. G. Once I was showing her a video of him reviewing a movie about La Llorona, and Mr. G talked about being Hispanic, and how he likes seeing Hispanic representation in movies, comparing it to seeing your favorite football team, and she said, shut that chat off, because it was too political to her. I think she views everything as political, even stuff I don't really think is political. Commenter: how did you not see this side of her? I get that you are very young, but this is a woman who got with a minor as soon as it was legal. What would you other people say if the genders were swapped? And verbally and physically abused you, because that's what she did. I'm glad this happened so you could finally get rid of her. I bet in a few years you will be shocked you took so much abuse before leaving. Original poster replies: this isn't me justifying it. I'm just explaining my side here. Any part of me that thought it was weird when I was younger got dismissed by everyone else around me. My mom got with a guy twice her age when she was 16, had me. Guy got arrested for something else and raised me on her own. She started joking about me and my ex being a cute couple and getting married since we were kids. Even when I was 12 and 13, she made jokes about sneaking me into her prom. My ex's mom also encouraged it because her and my mom are best friends. I thought this was normal. I thought her losing her temper and raising hands was normal. I thought she was insulting me. It wasn't her, but the anger talking. If you have everyone around you telling you something is okay, even if it isn't, it really does heck with you. She is also literally the only woman I've been with, and I haven't even been friends with a woman for a long time because that made her uncomfortable. I get I was dumb, but try to see my side here. Edit. To answer some questions. Did you break up with her? Yes. During the text conversation we broke up. I always told her I had one rule, that I don't do ultimatums. If she were to say choose X or me, that I would leave. I put up with a lot of bad verbally and physically, but I don't put up with that kind of BS. Ages? I was 17, and she was 22, 23 when we got together. It's been a long time, so I'd have to look back to make sure. But yeah, I was for sure 17. We got together the day I turned 17. Our anniversary is my birthday. We couldn't get together before then because of the age of consent in my state, which I get now is really screwed up. I don't know if it helps, but we have known each other our entire lives. My mom is her mom's best friend. When my mom worked, I would go over to Mina's mom's house, so I wasn't alone. We started talking and flirting when I was about 15 or 16, but didn't cross any physical lines until I turned 17 because I didn't want her to get arrested. I get that it sounds bad, I really do. But at the time, I didn't see it as bad. Just in case it is asked, our moms encouraged it. Why would you want to be with someone like that? I don't. I really don't. I didn't realize it was transphobia until some people here talked to me about it. I thought it was just her being jealous. But I get how screwed up it is now. Please understand, I live in the Bible Belt. I didn't even know trans people existed until I was 16. My personal thoughts are that I don't see a problem with people being trans and transitioning. I think at the end of the day, it isn't my business. Is Timmy trans? I have no clue. He could be, but he could have also had breast cancer, gyno, heart, lung, or any kind of other surgery. I used a photo from Google, Reddit, because this whole time I personally thought he had gyno or something. But it's not my business. Is Timmy safe? I'll talk to him when I get home and then talk to my landlord. I will change my gate code and also have her removed from the allowed guests list and also ask my landlord to not let her in personally. She hasn't been too violent of a person in the past, but I also didn't know she was this insane in the past either. Was there abuse? I feel like this has been kind of implied in some questions. I don't know. Has she insulted me? Yes. Has she been physical? Yes, but nothing crazy. Slapping, pushing, shoving, but never anything like punching or drawing blood. Why use a centimeter if you're American? I was born and raised in America. However, I got a couple of friends who use metric from college, and after sharing a group chat with them for so long, the habit has stuck. If anyone cares, we're in automotive engineering. The photo? The photo is not actually Timmy. I searched Google for gyno surgery photos and then found a Reddit post talking about it. I used it as a reference for what I mean, scarring under the chest and around the nipple area. I definitely wouldn't actually post a photo of Timmy here, censored or not. I'm sorry for the confusion. Why didn't you ask Timmy about his scars? I have a few reasons. I personally wouldn't like it if someone asked me. Second, my mom has scars all around her body for different reasons and gets livid if you ask her about them. Third, probably the one that confuses people the most. I didn't really care enough to ask. I was curious, but not, I just thought, and then went on with my business. Small update. Next day, I talked to Timmy. I got advice saying to be upfront and tell him what's up completely. Hide the trans part and that I just shouldn't tell him. I don't know if this was the right thing, but I just told him, because once I was face to face with him, I couldn't really help but do it. To clarify, I did not ask him about his scars or mention that specifically. I said my ex-girlfriend was under the impression he was a trans person. Made sure to say I didn't care if he was or wasn't, and that I broke things off, changed the gate codes, put her on the do not let in list, all that drama. Before even saying anything, he asked if I was okay. Like I said, he is a chill dude. He also not so subtly asked the same questions that a lot of comments asked, essentially if I was in an abusive situation. I told him I don't know, but whatever kind of situation it was, it's over. The thing that really kinda annoyed me is that he called me his best friend. I regret not saying we were close in other comments. I realize now we have different definitions of close because he is introverted and I'm not. We talked about irrelevant stuff for a while, and then the question came up, would you care if I was trans? To summarize things, yes, Timmy is trans mask. He had top surgery when he was 19 and has been on hormones since he was 18. He even has a tattoo with the date he started testosterone. While the idea that he could have been a dude with gyno, cancer, or something else is completely reasonable, it just happens that Timmy is trans. And I don't care about that. Timmy is Timmy. I did show him the post and got permission to update things. I would not have otherwise. He is also roaming this post somewhere, but probably won't comment. Timmy is going to help me out with finding some low-cost or pay-scale therapy because he personally hasn't heard good things about the college's therapy services. Like everyone else has said, yes, it was abuse. I see that. I will also hold higher standards for myself in the future. Timmy sent me the information for the therapist he sees, and I'll contact them in the morning. The landlord knows there is a domestic incident, and I trust him when it comes to making sure my ex doesn't show up. The do not allow list was made in mind for this reason. I am not ready to talk to my mom about this, but I hope with some therapy and time, I will be. She knows something is going on, but she believes this is a break and not a breakup. Sorry if this sounds like rambling, it is. This has been a rough couple of weeks. My brain is fried and I'm tired. Keep in mind, I'm still a full-time student during this. I also have to keep my grades up for my grants, scholarships, government aid, etc. I do read all comments, even the not-so-good ones. I will try to respond more before I sleep tonight, but just know, even if I don't reply, I have read it. I appreciate all the advice, kicks in the rear, and the sympathy. A side note, I have seen a lot of trans people comment on this post, and I have had a few reach out to me in private. I am thankful for your comments as well. It has brought to my attention how tough things are out there, because I honestly felt what I did was the bare minimum and not worthy of praise because it should just be expected. But I see that it is being praised for how low of a bar there is when it comes to human decency towards you, and I'm sorry for that, and hope things get better. Official update. I talked to the therapist Timmy recommended. Normally I would be on the wait list until January, but due to the situation, the therapist referred me to one of his associates, and I'll be seen as early as next week. I also was recommended to attend a domestic violence support group that gathers once a month. I was originally not going to go because the idea was uncomfortable as crap, but Timmy said he'll go with me, so at least I'll know someone there, and we can leave if it's too weird for me. My mom is aware of the breakup. She is not too happy. I did not mention the trans part. I said that Mina was being controlling and I didn't want to put up with it anymore. Got the usual, that's a normal part of any relationship comments, but I stood my ground. My mom seems to be under the same delusion as Mina, that this is a small argument or something, and we will get back together. But that is absolutely not happening. I don't really talk to Mina's mom, so I don't know her thoughts on the matter. The landlord is aware of the situation and will not let Mina in, should she try to show up. If you don't have the gate code, you have to go to the main office, and the employee, landlord's son, will buzz the person in if they are on your accepted people list, or call the tenant and ask if they aren't on the list. If the individual is on the do not let in list, especially if it involves a criminal matter, they will be asked to leave. If they don't leave, then it becomes trespassing. I know this sounds like a lot, but the security is why a lot of people live here. Notes after reading some comments. I am sorry for trivializing my abuse. It still feels weird to say abuse, but I do know that it is abuse. Slapping, pushing, and shoving is physical abuse. And if another person came up and told me their partner was doing that, I would call it abuse. It's not that I don't think women can be abusive, but as I said in one of the comments, I don't view it as abuse when it's towards me. This is probably due to being abused by my mom, which I am going to get help for. For reference, when I mention my mom's abuse, it's why I'm low contact with her. The reason why I was extremely underweight as a kid is because she just straight up didn't feed me a lot of the time. Child Protective Services got called a lot, but never did anything. They also didn't take any claims by my teachers that I was being abused as creditable because there were no marks or bruises, which has warped my view on abuse. Going forward, if I date again, then I won't put up with any physical or verbal abuse. A couple of comments helped by saying that if I was confused on if it was wrong, to think about if it was another person going through it, which has been helpful in what I feel is right and wrong treatment towards me. After a lot of talking, it turns out Timmy and I have been friends this whole time, but because I've never had an introvert friend before, I didn't exactly realize. Timmy says he didn't want to annoy me by trying to chat with me all the time, which ironically is what I was feeling. Now we're going to hang out more, and he is trying to get me to join the D&D game he is in. Thank you for reading my giant block of text. I'm on the app and I don't exactly know how to format. I'm grateful for all the comments, regardless if they are good or bad. I do read all of them. Here is relevant. Comment: telling mom about the abuse. I agree with your comment. The unfortunate thing is that my mom is aware of her physical, verbal abuse and didn't really do anything about it. She would make excuses for Mina, such as how Mina just needs help. She's stressed, and that it isn't abuse because Mina didn't leave marks or bruises directly. My mom is not happy about the breakup and is in the denial stage right now. But the roommate issue hasn't been brought up. If it is brought up, I am going to say Timmy had heart surgery, which is the excuse Timmy uses.